Hello, hello over on the tubes. Thank you so much, Mani. I appreciate it. I'm going to mute this over here. Okay. So, friendlies are welcome up after or at 3K. And then if I don't know you, if I'm not familiar with you, I'm going to need you to go ahead and call the phone. That way, no one's dogpiling, anything like that. You're more than welcome to ask questions. Let me know your experiences, what kept you from voting, what is maybe keeping you from voting in the future, stuff like that. Those are conversations I love to have and I want to have. And so I just want to make sure we get that going. So we've passed the 3K. Thank you so much. If you haven't sent your heart me, go ahead and send that over. I do have links in the bio. So if you can go ahead and visit that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Um, I got a family. That's about it. And by a family, I mean it's me and kids. And kids, they grow, so they eat. That's all I got. Anyways, um, other than that, all right. Who wants up? I am over on YT. You can see that also in the links in the bio. Um, Volume is still low over on the tubes. I got you. I figured that out, I think. Is that better? All right, let me know if that's better or not. And yes, if you haven't sent your heart me, please go ahead and send your heart me. If you haven't followed me yet, please go ahead and send me a follow. Also, tapping is clapping. It's also free. It's a great way to support. Share me out to your buddies, oh pals, especially if you know they didn't vote or they're talking about not voting. I'm not going back and forth with people, legitimately just having a conversation. Yes, following is free on both platforms. If I could please get people to go ahead and knock those little one coin gift goals out, that'd be greatly appreciated. That also helps push things out. And while I do have a panel, when I do have a panel, please make sure you're supporting those people as well. Other than that, yes, somewhat better. Okay. I just don't want to like blast y'all's ears. That's all. Okay. So I think I fixed that. Am I going to get complaints of an echo? I don't like that. Sorry. Noises. Okay. W Blue, and I think that is Dan. I appreciate you. And we are going to come over here. That is a spam text, and the phone is open. And again, the panel is open for mutuals. I am doing well. I decided that I was gonna. I decided that I was going to go ahead and get ready today because it is Titties Out Tuesday. So we got the tortoise. And yeah, we're here to talk. Actually, I wanted to kind of dive in. Yeah, I did have to fix that. It was like it's peeking out. Okay, so I kind of went down a rabbit hole when it came to Citizens United. So if anybody's wondering why, oh, that's adorable, Blue. I put on it. I put on a V-neck for solidarity. So Citizens United, if you ever wonder why the candidates you absolutely really want in are not making it as great or making it far because of money, this is the source of the reason. So when you're talking and calling your representatives, definitely encourage them to, pass some legislation that would eliminate the whole, eliminate the big funds. So getting money out of politics. That would be beneficial to all of us. So then we can have more everyday people or more people with the everyday experience. Yes, they do give companies way too much power. And that's exactly why it is important to also see why voices are silent in this world of capitalism. We work with the system that we have. However, being able to get our voices back. Oh, I gotta fix my. Hold on. Nobody want to tell me about my phone number over on the top. Okay, so there you go. So in order to get our voices back, yes, and get people to release the files, we have to make sure that we get the power back to the people. So one campaign that was very lovely, or two campaigns between AOC and Mamdani most recently, grassroots campaigns. He went and he door knocked, and other people volunteered and they door knocked. He was funded by hey, whoever's in my request, I do not have you as a mutual. You're more than welcome to give that number a call. I do not dox because I don't have the fucking time. And I really don't care. So, but I am here to have a conversation. I want to know why you don't. I want to know why you don't vote or why you don't want to vote anymore. I understand wanting to get that control back. And the best way to get control back is to speak up, stand up, fight back. So let's do that. Let's figure out how we can problem solve. And like I was talking about yesterday, as of right now, we're in a two-party system. So why not make our parties speak for us? So why not give the Democratic Party or, hello, y'all were fast. Ooh, that's ringing on all my devices. Hello, thank you for calling in. How old are you?
37.
And did you vote recently?
No, I haven't voted in a while now.
And why is that?
They're completely feeling rejected from the Democratic Party, and seeing from the inside how they did Bernie, it just turned me off to the whole thing. It made me realize the ratchet effect is real, and it's really a one-party system playing political football, faking like they're against each other when they're really working together.
And you like feel that wholeheartedly, especially seeing how things are going now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The Democrats, they knew that this was going to happen back in 2016. And in 2020, I told myself I wasn't going to stand on the sidelines. I'm going to get involved. So for a good 2 year period, I completely stopped working and like went on sabbatical and just volunteered and door knocked for all the socialist campaigns, whether it was local or for the presidential election with Bernie. I probably knocked on thousands and thousands of doors all over the country. And if I had a dollar for every time someone told me that, oh yeah, I like Bernie, I just don't think he has a chance to win, I would never have to work another day in my life. And when I saw that Stop Bernie campaign, do you remember that?
I don't think I saw Stop Bernie
Uh huh.
campaign.
Yeah, go look it up. It's called the Stop Bernie campaign. It was like right when Bernie had it clear. It was clear that he was going to win. It's just a matter of time. All of the candidates for the Democratic Party decided to stop their campaign and figure out a way to stop Bernie Sanders. So that to me, it just showed it's like the Democrats, they could easily win with Bernie. They could easily win with a socialist candidate, but their donors who donate to both parties wouldn't want that. And
Yep.
so when I saw it up close and personal, like how bad they will go to tarnish his name, to tarnish any socialist, fuck being Bernie, like to tarnish any socialist to the point where they don't win, and they'll sacrifice the entire country in order for this football game to keep going. It's like, no, I'm done. I'm off the train.
Okay, so like now that we're 10 years later, are what have you like are you done with the door knocking and organizing, or is that something you want to continue to do?
No, I'm still community organizing. Like it was, we were really heavy on mutual aid networks where I'm at, but no, it's revolution or bust, like for real this time. And
Oh,
I'm seeing why we got to this point, and it was believing in democratic bought out shills in the first place that got us here. So yeah, I refuse to go back. Like Bernie was like a compromise for everybody. There was Republicans in red states I was going to that was like, yeah, I don't like Trump, but I'd vote for Bernie if the Democrats would let him be on the candidate. And the Democrats know that better than me and
okay,
you.
but like
They saw the data.
okay.
So like if they're
All right.
gonna stop
Okay. Okay.
our best
Okay.
candidates, like no,
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. So, you do realize that Bernie did not have the votes?
It's not about the votes. It's about the energy behind the whole thing, from the smear campaigns to convincing people that he didn't have a chance to win when he did. When we all of the people that had the data, it was clear he was going to win in a landslide.
Okay, so may I
Like when I
ask?
got, go ahead.
Okay, let me go on. So, how is continue or like withdrawing from voting? How is withdrawing from voting helpful to continue pushing things in a forward direction rather than us where we are in regression?
I really believe in words and having power in your actions. Really are deep in the subconscious mind about what you defend. And I was able to sleep at night when the Democratic Party was unaliving little children in Gaza. I was able to sleep at night knowing that I did not vote. I did not cast a vote for that. And I know a lot of people are subconsciously conflicted and they can't look at themselves or can't, you know, keep it real with themselves
Are
when it comes
you
to like some real deep issues. So I'm able to sleep at night perfectly fine knowing that I didn't assist in that.
okay? And so then, but you are able to sleep at night knowing that children are starving here and unaliving here with the lack of like gun reform, with predators. Yeah, like that's okay.
Again, that's something we got to figure out as people, and we're gonna need the G1s for that revolution, and all of the predators that went to that island with you
Okay,
know who
so okay,
are
so
walking free, and the government knows who they
okay,
are.
so
So
yeah, so this is why of course, like
It's
for
on
instance,
us at the end of the day.
okay, I let you go ahead. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So
I'm right.
it
I'm
is it
talking over
is
you.
on it is on us to make sure that we do everything in our power, especially leading up to midterms, for that to change. Or we're just going to keep progressing and it's just going to keep getting worse. If we all just gave up,
No, I'm not saying give up. I'm saying stop playing the game. Like a game where the two sides have already figured out who the winner is going to be.
that's not the
A
game.
game where, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So here, and that was, I mean, you brought up a good point about the money. So that's what I was talking about right before you called in is like Citizens United. Until that are so when that came into the picture or the ruling with the Supreme Court ruling for Citizens United went ahead and they could do it. We ended up with like super PACs that could basically yes control how things were going to go, and it took power away from the people, right? So
Yeah.
we don't have to, as of right now. I'm going to say that as of right now, we do have an option to continue to move forward. However, stopping in our tracks and not making the system work for us and just being like, fuck it, I'm just going to organize, that that still gives them more power and more time.
Yeah, I'm cool with being talked back into it in the sense of like voting. I just will never vote for somebody who's getting paid by my enemy.
Okay,
That's
so
the part where I'm like, okay, I draw the line at that. But going back to Citizens United, are you familiar with the Wolf Pack? I got a crazy echo, but I'll work through it.
oh,
Are you
you do.
familiar with the
Hold on
Wolf
just a
Pack
second.
organization?
Let me fix that. I am not blue. Are you?
I do hear you're echoing a bit.
It's fixed now. You're good.
Okay. Uh, blue. Are you familiar?
With the Wolfpack, no.
I'll just give a
I can
quick
take a look.
summary. They were trying to go the constitutional route, state by state, getting the state governments to say that, yes, we want to take money out of politics. And they got to Washington state and couldn't get it passed. You would think, like, we got Seattle and Tacoma, all these like liberal cities, but we couldn't get it passed up here, right? So, like, this whole like money in politics thing, I think it's not really reasonable to think we're going to be able to get it out. What we can do is just put money into a real candidate who's a real socialist, who's not going to take a single dollar from a corporation.
Uh,
That might be our best bet, but at the same time, it's like, even if they do get in any sort of power, I've just seen like this country does not want these kind of people in DC for very much longer than 2 or 3 years tops.
no, and I
Question.
understand. Go ahead.
Uh, so I also was a Bernie supporter in 2016 and in 2020. When Bernie lost the primaries in 2016, what did he do?
He backed Hillary,
Yeah, he campaigned for Hillary harder than Hillary campaigned for herself.
and same thing for Biden, right?
Yeah, it was almost like he was like promoting harm reduction.
And it's almost like he's in on it too at the same time.
But
What?
you just said
That's
if
where
you
I draw
can't
the
have
line on it,
Bernie,
man. It's like he knows, and he knows what he was doing too. Like there was a whole big push to make it a revolutionary movement and take the momentum that his campaign had and transition it into something long lasting, even after politics. The day that COVID hit, I was in Detroit, like when it really got taken seriously and the shutdowns were happening and mask enforcements were happening. It was like the whole campaign dissolved faster than, you know, a piece of paper in water. It just like immediately got all the switches got flipped off, all the data just got tossed to the side. And all that momentum was just stifled into nothingness.
okay,
So
give me a
yeah,
second.
like I said, he was a compromise for me at the
Okay,
end of the day.
just give me a quick second. Hey, chat, I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and continue to tap and continue to share this out. Please make sure that you're supporting. Um, if y'all want to see some change, we actually have to have the conversations to want change. But at the same time, I need some views for change to happen. So if you would like that to happen, please go ahead and continue to share and tap and do whatever you can. Also, don't forget, I do have a gift gallery. That'd be greatly appreciated. Anyone over on the tubes, please go ahead and give me a little thumbs up, subscribe, those fun things. But yeah, so caller, back to you. Let's go ahead and we're going to walk back from the 2020-2016 contests. We're going to go ahead and be in 2026 right now. Are you pleased with how anything is going right now in 2026?
No, not at all. But we called this and we knew that this day was going to be here in 2016. And we were begging the Democratic Party, if you don't support
so
Bernie, this is going to be the
that's why I
solution.
said we are going to be in 2026. Okay, let's stay in 2026 and let's like focus where we are now.
Yeah, I'm not happy, but I'm not surprised. Like, I knew all of this was going to happen. I knew the Iran war was going to happen. I knew Venezuela was going to happen. I knew, the push towards greater Israel was going to happen. Like, all of this was just so predictable. And, the people that you want me to align with stopping this from happening. It's like as if they're in on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I heard then Stokely Carmichael, the elder
who do I
Kwame
want you
Ture.
to align with?
I'm sorry?
Who do I want you to align with?
Any sort of electoralism. Like any. Let me tell you why. When I heard Kwame Ture, once Black Panther, elegant speaker to inspire a crowd, I agreed with everything he said in his speech. Up until the very end, he ended that sentence, his last sentence with, and that's why we need to overthrow this shit, burn it down, and have a revolution. Back then, it made me extremely uncomfortable. It was about 2018. It made me extremely uncomfortable. I'm going to be keeping it real with you. Love the brother, love everything he stood for, but the idea of, well, why can't we vote this away, used to make me extremely uncomfortable when he said, yeah, we can't vote it away. And then it wasn't until I got neck deep in the Bernie campaign in 2020, just like he did, and back in his time, getting real deep into the parties in the electoral system. It's not until you get deep in it and you realize how much resistance there is towards people like us, me, you, and Kwame, then you realize, like, oh, I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. And I'm realizing right now, too, I can't stand the right wing. But a lot of them over there are like just as fed up as me. A lot of them over there realize they got played by Trump, just like I got played by Bernie, just like you got played by whoever you might have voted for. And just like the brother Fred Hampton said, Black Panther, if we realize there's more in common between us,
okay, so
we have
are you
solidarity.
A black man?
Go ahead.
Are you a black man?
Black as hell.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know, like, when it comes to talking about revolution, that is going to bring the greatest harm to marginalized communities. So that means us. You know that, right?
Look, we have a privilege as United States citizens. Like real privilege.
Do you realize that us as Black people, as marginalized communities, will suffer the most?
That's so false. It's time to read some Frantz Fanon, sister. I really want to suggest that.
Don't do that.
That revolution is a beautiful thing. It is going to be nasty.
Hi. Don't do that. My name is Mia.
I didn't know your name, so Mia. But I want to see you as family. I'm not like, across the table like you're my enemy. I really see, like, I agree with so much of what you say. It's just the methods that we disagree on. I really want us to take a step back and realize, like, our privilege. When we saw what was happening in Yemen and in Gaza, there's so many countless videos of grown men crying into the camera
looking me dead in the eyes and begging me and saying, hey, US citizens, you need to stop this. You need to do something. And if I just sit back on my hands and wait for the electoral process to come around, that to me, I can't sleep at night. When I see grown men begging me on the camera, like, look, your Democratic president is dropping life-threatening missiles on our families, on children. And I'm in Seattle. I'm looking out the window and I can see the warships passing by. I can see uh, the cargo ships being loaded up. And we have Lockheed Martin and Boeing here loading up them same ships with missiles. I'm looking out the window and I'm seeing it. And that same cargo ship is going to get sent straight to Gaza with the missiles. I cannot sleep at night waiting for the electoral process. And while at the same time, we all saw the files get dropped. And we all saw that, okay, both parties are involved with some real creepy shit going on. And the right wing is just as fed up as we are. But yet they are getting weaponized with racism, right? That's their hot button to push, right? And
They're
then for
being
us, we
weaponized
get
with
weaponized.
racism.
Go ahead.
No, you said they're being weaponized with racism.
Yeah, like racism is like a hot button for the
Mm-hmm.
elites to push to like get white people in fear. All they got to do is say, black and brown people are taking their jobs or they're coming to,
Mm-hmm.
erase you into existentialism.
Do you
They're tired of that.
do you believe
I'm
we're in a
hearing a lot
class
of those
war?
folks are tired of that.
Do you believe we're in a class war?
Absolutely.
And do you believe that a revolution is going to solve that issue?
It's going to be messy, and there's a hot chance that it
That
won't
is
even
exactly
succeed.
why you are wrong. There
Excuse me?
that is exactly why you are wrong. If we do not get or take care of the whole, white supremacy and patriarchal issue, a class war, that's like
But
because
did you hear the part where I said I'm listening to right wing talking heads, and a lot of them are realizing that they need to give up on this racism shit. Like they're realizing in real time right now that the right wing are using racism to make them little toy soldier puppets, and they want to cut the strings. And a lot of them are saying, oh, we need to team up with leftists, but we just need to give up on some things. And they want us to give up on some things,
Where are you hearing
right?
this?
And so,
yeah,
pardon?
where are you hearing this?
There's one guy in particular, William. I'll spell it for you if I can. B is in Victor, Rillium is Mary. He's one of the Nick Fuentes, like super far right kind of guys. They're realizing like, okay, yeah, we got played hard, and they're pissed. And they're talking about like, yeah, we need a revolution here, and we need to team up with leftists. And they're trying to negotiate with themselves how they're going to do that. They want us to stop being so damn insufferable and blaming them for the state of society. And we need them to give up on racism. We need to start collaborating with one another instead of like, you know, three leftists walk into a bar with, and three leftists walk out mad at each other and can't talk to each other. Like we've got a real issue with unity over here too. That's why I say it's messy.
Okay, and that's
You
why I'm
know, but
saying like right now we are in a space where we can have like I haven't even been able to get to this part, but we are in 2026, right? So we're in a midterm year. So we are in a space where you have people closer to home, right? That you can actually push their campaigns, grassroots movements, progressive candidates, right? So that is, and then obviously making sure that you're paying attention to your local elections. I haven't even gotten to say that. Um, I still want you to understand that a revolution will be more damaging to marginalized communities than anyone else. So, one thing that like a lot of people, especially leftists, do not understand is the fact of we still have white supremacy and the patriarchal systems that are that are rampant. And just because of some right-wing creator said they figured out we're hateful, so they sat there and zoned in on it. No, it's because it's
Ask you a serious question on that.
can I finish? Because I have
Yeah, I thought you were done,
okay.
but go ahead. I got a bad delay on it. My bad.
Okay. So marginalized communities will suffer the most. And the leftists, the people who will sit there and say, you're not a leftist, you believe in voting. Those types of people, those are the people that honestly do not care about the harm that will be done if a revolution were to start. Because the harm is less likely to happen to white tea leftists or any other white tea person. However, the harm will definitely come to marginalized communities, to Black communities,
Yeah,
to
I'd love to have a
impoverished
conversation on that.
communities.
Have you ever been face to face with a neo-Yahtzee? Have you ever like actually seen them trying to cause harm?
Yes.
Okay. We could look at many situations where when those folks come into town and they make a big announcement that they're trying to rally up all the local neo-Nazis and get their support for some sort of rally, what always happens? The leftists rally just as hard, if not harder, and we show up in vast numbers and we outnumber them 100 to 1. And
Depending on
they
where they
9 times,
rally.
excuse me,
Depending on where they rally.
right. And 9 times out of 10, they don't even have the rally. They cancel it. The few times that they do, they are so filled with fear and terror that they run away. And I've
Where
seen
is
this
this
happen
at?
over and over and over again. I'm not afraid of them.
It's because they
And
keep
in
going
fact,
into blue cities to do this.
excuse me,
It's because they keep going into blue cities, going into Democratic territory to do this stuff.
I saw this happen out in Idaho. Okay, I've seen
Where
it
in Idaho?
happen, excuse me,
Where in
Where in
Idaho?
Coeur d'Alene, which is like, their territory. Like the
Oh
common
my
people,
God. Whatever will the potatoes do?
excuse me,
Okay, so yeah,
and if
that's
this is
I
an
not
said,
unserious
oh my
conversation,
God.
I'll leave.
Whatever will the potatoes do?
All
so
right. Yeah, hey, y'all take care.
no. Wait. The issue is that's not completely a thing, right? The like Virginia, a couple like I think it was a couple months ago, Virginia legitimately had neo-Yazis marching with their flags and their weapons. Like, let's be so for real. And we flipped blue instead of just being purple. Okay, so this is still that because you have seen it. Yes, it does happen, but that doesn't mean that those people are going to be down with the shit when it's an actual revolution. I'm going to tell you right now, as a vet, the fuck y'all going to do with drones?
Have some of our own power in numbers. Have some
From where?
vets on our side with us.
All right,
That's good to know.
can we pause your revolution and talk about like, hey, maybe let's at least push until November. Can we talk about that maybe possibly?
Yeah, one last statement on that. Didn't your generals just tell Trump no to the nuclear codes? The revolution is somewhat happening. And y'all are the main ones that swore on that Bible to that oath to defend against enemies, foreign and domestic. So use that.
Hey, I served. I am a veteran. Okay, I served. And to say y'all's
you
generals.
have the biggest influence. Yeah, it's time to read some Fanon. But let's go talk about November.
Oh,
I'll talk about
how many
Fanon.
people just got arrested out of the Capitol?
It could have been 1 million. I'm still on this. I'll talk about November with you if you promise to read Fanon.
Yeah, send
wretched
the
of the
text
earth.
to my number so I'll remember to look it up.
Can we promise? Oh, what is
Whoop!
happening?
Hold on. Whoop.
Well, I'll talk about November. You guys can convince me to vote for whoever you got
Uh,
in mind.
I'm not. No,
But
no, 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 no. Here, that's the
you know,
thing. There's. I mean, I can't do. We're not in the same state. I'm just letting you know that you have the opportunity to push someone that you and your community that you said that you have organized to vote for, people that are local to you, and continue to branch out throughout that state or throughout that district for you to be able to push more progressive candidates or the progressive candidates that you're looking for you to door knock within your community, within your state. If that was something you were willing to do for Bernie at the big league level, that is something that is very much smaller at the little, like at your
I did it
smaller
as well. Yeah. No, I did it here as well locally. But yeah, and in fact, we do have
No,
a really
I
awesome
understand you
candidate.
did that. I'm just saying, I was like, if you were willing to do the Bernie thing for when it came to a national level, then being or looking towards your reps, your local, if you have local elections going on as well, looking at those spaces that are closest to you, you should not have a problem. And like that should be that should be your motivator. Mutual aid or just crowdfunding to help the campaign is like, especially if you know those are the people, start calling those reps and talking about, hey, or the people that you want to see run, be like, hey, how do you feel about money in politics? You're at a disadvantage right now, aren't you? Okay, so like if we can try to get the money out of politics, and you will stand up, and with the War Powers Act and all these things, if you will stand up to push these things, I am here to support you with reps. The reps are the easiest because just I'm here to support you. However, you have 2 years. So that means the first 3 months is all I'm giving you for probationary period before I start, stomping against you, before I start calling up your replacement.
Yeah, you were cutting out on that, but no, I'm gonna rock with you on it. You're absolutely right. Seattle, we do have a great candidate for Congress. I'm gonna put my ballot in for her. Uh, like I said, I'm still a little scorned with the Democratic Party on door knocking. I saw the sauce how it was made from the inside, and it's gonna take a lot more for me to like believe in it again, to put more energy towards it. But I respect those who still believe in it. I really do. I respect y'all who are still pushing towards trying to do something, because a lot of people have just given up entirely. So, like I said, I agree with a lot of what y'all believe in and stand in. Uh, you got me on that. I'll go ahead and put in my vote come
But
November.
beloved,
It costs nothing to show
Just
love.
okay. This is Sunkiss. Go ahead, Sunkiss. Oh,
I got bars. Hold on,
yeah,
hold on.
Sunkiss, you
I got
got
bars.
bars. Okay.
Oh, I may not actually be able to do this. Hold on.
Okay. You want to drop down and come back up? Okay. So that's another thing. Like, yes, I do encourage you to do that and to continue to talk to people in your community and like Facebook groups if you have it. Like, can someone accept that, please? Um, I encourage you to continue, because the thing is, even if it has to come to the R word, right? Why not continue to fight the system until it needs to happen? Instead of sitting in one space and letting more bad shit happen and then being like, all right, guys, it's the day. Why not continue to fight the system that we are working with? We can do two things at once. We can have a backup plan.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how the psychology of this works. Um,
Now
I can
psychology's
I can have the,
involved.
go ahead.
I said now psychology's involved.
All of this is psychological.
I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. Because I need to make sure I'm hearing this correctly at this point. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hi, caller. Um, Thank you for coming up and calling in. I just joined. Would you mind just giving me like a quick summary of just where you are as a whole? I came in halfway through, so I apologize for you have to repeat yourself. I don't like to repeat myself, so I understand that. But where are you in your alignment again, just as a whole? Just give me a quick cliff notes of
But
you.
yeah, I don't want to bore everybody again with that. I spent 2 years dedicating thousands of hours and knocking on tens of thousands of doors all over the country for Bernie Sanders' campaign, but also for local socialists, and only to find out that the Democratic Party actually would fight us harder than they would fight the Republicans. They would
Mm-hmm.
put millions of dollars behind the propaganda campaigns to make sure that a socialist candidate that me and you would vote for, who didn't take
Mm-hmm.
any money from the donors, that also donates to the Republicans, any outsiders were fought harder than the actual, propaganda of trying to win the election. So therefore, it would just alienated me completely out of it, right? So I don't want to have to vote for any
Mm-hmm.
candidate that puts up, that takes money from corporations, and I don't want to vote for any candidate who's going to, do a G side or fund that or support it in any way. And based off of that, Bernie was a compromise in a lot of ways. So in order for me to get reinvigorated, knock on doors, it's going to take a lot for me. And yes, I will, throw in my ballot to vote for a candidate who doesn't take money from corporations, but I can't do the whole like harm reduction thing of two candidates that might be funded by the same people.
I'm caught up now.
Yep, that's it.
So I thank you so much for doing me the service of repeating that for my benefit, just so I can come in and talk to you a little bit more informed. So thank you so much for repeating that. I think just my question's kind of. Can I ask you how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
37.
I see. My question for you is what invigorated you about your work for Bernie? What made you excited to go out and do the door knocking for this candidate in 2016?
It wasn't necessarily
Because you
2016,
would
but
have
it
been
was
what about in your late
20.
20s, early 30s?
It was in 2020, yeah, that I did the majority of that door knocking. It was the ability to rally even the Republicans. When I saw conservatives saying like, "Oh yeah, Medicare for all is a good idea," and I vote for that, that's when I knew it was like, okay, this game of the two-party system could be over. When I saw him do the Republican
Wait,
town hall,
you said 2020 or 2016?
2020 and 2016, Republicans were saying that.
Uh, no. I meant about you when you were doing the door knocking for Bernie.
What invigorated me during the door knocking, going to the UNLV campus out in Vegas and seeing a bunch of college students chasing Bernie in a crowd of like 400, 500 people, like he was Michael Jackson reincarnated, and seeing how much the kids love the guy, seeing how much even in the red states, conservatives were like, yeah, I like Bernie over Trump. It was just an automatic, like, okay, if we can convince enough people that he has a chance, unlike what the propaganda was telling them, we could actually win. The data was showing a
Hold on, hold on, hold
clear.
on.
Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold
Mhm.
on. Slow down. Take your time. What propaganda were you hearing, beloved? What is the
Wait, are we
propaganda?
dead ass right now? We are gonna act like MSNBC and CNN wasn't constantly putting out a 24/7 smear campaign that he doesn't have a chance. That they were saying the
I
data doesn't look like he's gonna win, when in
and
reality it
did
was the
he?
exact opposite.
And but did he win?
Let me put it to you this way: Bernie went on a Fox News televised live and direct campaign session, and he had hundreds of people in the crowd. When he asked the very first question of that set, he said, by a show of hands, so he broke the fourth wall, He broke past any sort of propaganda Fox was going to put on him. And he said, by a show of hands in this crowd, Republicans, how many of y'all would vote for Medicare for all? How many of y'all want Medicare for all? And all of them rich white folks raised their hand and said yes, on a conservative platform. So I just saw it firsthand. The data said he was going to win by a landslide, but the propaganda that was being pushed to the public said the opposite. Okay, so I saw it. Like I said, I knocked on tens of thousands of doors, it seems. No, it was obvious he's the compromise for everybody. Everyone would compromise for Bernie if you're being genuine. If you see that his average campaign donation was what, $30 per person, that the everyday person, young, old, black, white, don't matter, man, woman, all wanted Bernie. It was super obvious, and the
Okay,
Democratic
so
Party fought him tooth and nail to stop him. Hence the Stop Bernie
let's
campaign.
take
That's another Google search term.
let's understanding that, and again, I was present during that campaign. I was present during those things, and I just want to, Mia, you okay? What's wrong? We cannot hear you. I think. Oh, okay. I think, and this is what I find really, really interesting, is I think there is this parallel misunderstanding that if Bernie had won the 2016 election, we would not be where we are. And on one side, we will never know because he didn't win. But I also want to be really clear about this. When you're looking at propaganda and you're looking at what that means as a whole, I'm going to ask you a question. Does verbicality equate to action?
Not at all.
Okay. So when you were doing this door knocking and people were saying, well, I would love, I want, yeah, what he's saying is great, da 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 da. Did you think that equated to votes?
When I saw how the crowds reacted and that he was
No,
pulling up,
hold on, because I'm
go ahead.
asking, because this is how we get clarity. I'm not trying to be rude to you. I understand you saw the crowd's reaction. I am asking you, does action accept all of that? I think we think that translates to votes, but you will not know how somebody is voting until they get into until people get in the voting booth. And I'm not trying to be not, because there's a history and there's a pattern here. You're saying, because I feel like you're saying you feel like something was stolen from Bernie. You feel like that he should have been the candidate, he should have won in 2016. Let me ask you a question. If you apply for a job and you go through your panel interview, you make it through round one, round two, round three, round four, you get to the fourth round, you got one more round. Let's say you get to the fourth round and you get so comfortable in that round that you start talking with your interviewers about random things, about life, and you kind of end up essentially saying something that they view as against the mission, vision, and values of the company. They still give you that fifth round interview, but then they hit you with the rejection letter and say, I'm so sorry. There was a better candidate that we had at the time we were interviewing you that aligns more with our mission, vision, and values. A better fit and alignment. How would you take that?
I would take that I need to go start my own business and AKA have a revolution. That's how I personally would take it. But let me put it to you this way.
Okay, we're going to try this.
Let me put it to you this way. You said you were deep into the campaigns organizing, right? So for presidential elections. Do you remember the Stop Bernie campaign?
No. Now, I want to be clear. I was not deep into the campaign and organizing. I saw the campaign apparatus. I do remember it in 2016.
No, 2020. Do you remember the 2020 Stop Bernie campaign? Those specific words. Yeah, that's worth a Google search if you haven't.
I do remember the Stop Bernie campaign in its apparatus, but I also remember
in 2020
it not being this substantial thing in 2020. That was the substantial thing. because nobody was really
Okay.
looking at Bernie as a candidate. He was able to enter into the primaries.
Okay.
I mean, he was
I
able to
see
enter
what's
into
going
the
on
race
here.
and run. Okay, what is going
I
on
see what's
here?
going on. I see what's going on here.
What is? I'm not trying to be funny. What is going on?
You're being disingenuous if you keep it real with me. Like that was a real campaign. Like all candidates, like Democratic leaders, met up in person. All of them met up in person to talk about how they were going to stop Bernie Sanders with CNN and MSNBC and all the talking heads, all the donors. They all met up, and this is worth a Google search. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
I'm
there's a
not
massive
saying that
propaganda campaign.
I'm not trying to be disingenuous with you. I apologize if that is what is coming across to you. Many of the people who are present and here could tell you that I am not disingenuous. At least I hope they would say that. I hope I'm not being disingenuous. But it's really interesting that that is the phraseology and term of phrase that you use when I'm just trying to present facts to you. I'm trying to genuinely say, hey, is the thing that you're experiencing seeing from 6 years ago now the reality of what is actually happening? I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm not trying to disenfranchise you or disengage you from the voting process. If anything, I'm hoping you'll want to be tapped in and engaged. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there are parallels that we can draw. I'm not here. I'm not to hurt you in any capacity. I'm just saying to you, there comes a time where you have to really view what is in front of you. And no disrespect to Bernie in any capacity. How did Super Tuesday go for Bernie in the South?
I couldn't tell you, but my point still stands. I get it. You're going to argue that he didn't
But you
have
watched the
the votes,
campaign and you
quote
were
unquote.
involved and you door knocked.
I've honestly tried to delete those
Beloved, I don't
memories out
have
of my.
to argue.
Pardon?
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm presenting the facts because, babe, we
Yep,
can't
I
hear you.
just realized that. Sunkid, I mean, not Sunkid's caller. You just like. Caller, you were upset that I was like, I don't remember seeing a Stop Bernie campaign. However, you were actively involved with the campaign, like the Bernie campaign. And then now you're upset that someone's presenting a fact of how the southern states turned out. Like I'm very, or
I'm
not
not
upset.
upset with
You
that.
seem bewildered, and you're saying like,
I'm not
oh,
bewildered.
the first,
I'm not upset.
sir, the first 10 minutes, 15 maybe of this phone call, you were laying out the entire 2016, 2020 time period, but you are now saying you've been erasing these things from your mind. So I just need to know which one is it.
You're cutting in and out. You said I'm erasing things from my mind and what?
I need to know which one it is because you spent like 10 to 15 minutes like
I'm talking
talking
about
about
like the
20,
intricate timeline
2016 and
details of what
2020.
happened on Super Tuesday and all of that stuff. I don't remember those timelines, but there are certain things that are super obvious and super glaring in my mind of what happened. And the propaganda to stop Bernie is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I've seen it firsthand. And if we're going to pretend like that wasn't a multi-billion-dollar campaign, that's disingenuous.
No one said that. No one said that at all.
Right. That's not like that is not what is being disputed in any capacity here. Also, I need you to go back and verify millions versus billions for me, please. Just because if we're spending $1 billion to stop somebody from what that's that is something that needs to be looked at. But my thing about this is also too is that again, there is relevancy here, whether you feel that there was a propaganda campaign against Bernie or not. I want to be clear. At the end of the day, how did he do in the South when Super Tuesday came in 2020? Because that matters. That is a factor. How did he do in the South on Super Tuesday in that primary? I understand you said, well, I try to forget about that. That's the problem because you are slicing and dicing and chopping and screwing facts versus fiction of your mind because you don't want to face the reality. I'm not trying to be rude to you. These are factors.
Let me tell
How
you
did
again.
Bernie Sanders
I
do?
missed a quote from earlier since it didn't cover it, but I'll give you this quote. If I had $1 for every time I knocked on the door of someone in the South or in a red state, if I had $1 for every time someone said, I'd vote for Bernie if I thought he had a chance to win, I would never have to work
And
another
were
day
they
in my
wrong
life.
for that thought process?
All right. I see what it is.
It was
So,
just a
hey, y'all
question.
convinced me to have this conversation about electoral politics. I'm going to convince you to go read Frantz Fanon, Wretched of the Earth, to talk about revolution. You said we
Okay.
could walk and chew gum at the same time, right? We need to
Okay.
talk revolution because
Hey,
everyone
hi,
in the country is
caller,
sick of the
caller.
Democratic Party
Hey,
and the
caller.
Republican Party.
Hey,
So what do
caller.
we do? Keep playing?
Hey, caller. I told you you're more than welcome to send book recommendations
I did.
to the number, okay?
I did. Just
Okay.
to the new individual speaking to me. I'd like for them to have a sit in a chat about the psychology of revolution, what it takes.
Okay. So
I
I would love and you are in Seattle. Can you give the reps or the Congress people that you know you want to go ahead and promote on a ballot? Can you give them a shout out
Yeah,
just in
hey,
case
shout
anybody.
out to Shama Sawant, Pramila Jayapal. Yeah, those are the Seattle options that we've got. Hold it down for some amazing, strong women. Pramila, you're on my shit list, but I'm still, hey, promote you. I don't know who else is going to be better than you right now. Shama Sawant, you pissed off a lot of people, but hey, most communist revolutionaries do that. And yeah, everybody vote for her. But look, you're going up against Adam Smith, a dude who gets money from Boeing and Lockheed Martin and the military industrial complex. Don't know if you're going to be able to beat that. But look, all the power to you. People need to show up for them. And at the same time, we need to be thinking revolutionary right now. You know,
Okay,
most
thank you so
people were
much. We'll talk to you
accelerationists.
soon. W Spark Spark, thank you. We do talk about the crunchy leftists. We do. We do talk about it. Um and this is no shade to, because I do want people to call in and have these conversations. I'm just
You
saying,
probably should. Oh, sorry.
huh?
You probably should have been nicer when you dropped him because now you're going to be on his shit list.
I was nice. I said thanks for calling in. Bye. That's
It was
nice.
very
was he
genuine.
gone in that amount of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted him to give a nice little shout out to the candidates he would support if he were to vote. So yes, the thing yes, I do want to get to talking about Citizens United. However, as of right now, I would like to kind of decompress. When we are talking about people, or when we have people that are talking revolution, they're coming from a privileged place. I am not coming from a privileged place by saying marginalized communities will be harmed. They will be the first ones to be harmed in a revolution. And that is what we are trying to mitigate, is harm against our marginalized communities. So unless we dismantle the patriarchy and white supremacy, which once you dismantle the white supremacy, the patriarchy would likely go with it, simply because of how our system is intertwined. Okay, that's the first thing. Unless we do that, the whole revolution and class war thing is not gonna fucking work, because you literally have the impoverished racist YT man that still thinks that fighting for like someone like DJT and the rich, because of the whole identity thing, he will fight with them rather than against them. And that means that racism and hatred and misogyny and all the bigotry, all that shit, is just going to go towards the marginalized communities. So I really want you to know that, like, I understand where you all are coming from. There are some days that I'm like, let's do it. And then other days I'm like, I want my children to survive.
It's always the people that are still upset about 10 years ago, though, and then gave up voting. You didn't have the gumption to keep fucking voting, but you're going to hold a revolution?
That was the piece that I wanted to get to, before I was called disingenuous and everything else but a child of
And that's
God.
why I was trying to keep it just like, I do want to have conversations. I really do want to have conversations. You're not going to like what I have to say. I'm not going to like what you're going to have to say.
Right.
That's totally fine. I want to have these conversations because just like I told Worm the other day, your vote is your 2020 toilet paper. You fought for that fucking toilet paper, so why are you not fighting for your right? Why are you not fighting for your voice to be heard? And if you're going to get upset by a usage of a word, and I'm not talking about slurs or phrasing it anyway, I am just saying if you're going to be upset and call something ageist or call something or feel like someone's being disingenuous, I'm going to tell you a revolution is going to be much harder on your psychiatric stability. Okay? Just want to point that out. If we can't get through a conversation, then it's very unlikely we making it through some drones.
And I also want to be, because you're not wrong, but I also want to be really clear. If you're coming up here to do revisionist history about Bernie Sanders, either in 2016 or 2020, there are just some things that we have to lay flat on the table, at least for me as a person, because I know, like, I'm not trying to disparage anybody who voted for Bernie Sanders, but I want to be really clear. There is revolution and then there is revelation. And the revolution will not be televised. However, the revelation and the idea of understanding is that somebody who could barely hold the only thing they've gotten within their 50 years of being in Congress past is a damn near a post office. We need to have some conversations. The person who was saying they want the Democratic vote while being a Democratic socialist, while lambasting the Democratic Party. Notice Mamdani did not do that to win in New York, but Bernie did that across the nation, because he thought it was calling Democrats out, when there were a lot of people who took offense to that. And they looked back and went at his voting record and said, you're saying nice things, but what have you actually gotten done legislatively? Versus when they looked at Joe Biden, who has a record of his 50 years of the things that he's gotten. Yes, including that damn crime bill. Yes, for y'all cry about that. Those things matter, but it's also to show what you can get done. Like, I want to be really clear about this. This is no offense to Bernie Sanders in any capacity, because it's not offensive to tell the truth about a person. It may be offensive to them, but it is not offensive to who they are as a person, because that is the piece of this that we got to get to and recognize. Bernie was not doing well in these, like, that's why I said, well, how did he do on Super Tuesday? And I believe it was Monica that said he won 4 to Biden's 10. That matters. Why do you think Kamala Harris is in the South right now? This is not trying to be funny. You want to be upset and hold grudges when we are fighting for our lives. While it may not be the perfect candidate, but it can be somebody who we can get them across the line. Back Obama. Obama was not for same-sex marriage in his first term. He did not want to be bothered with same-sex marriage. By the time we got towards the end of his second term, we had same-sex marriage legalized. Many of you don't want to work for the actual goal. Door knocking does not equate votes. It equates interest. It equates.
Oh shit! I unmuted. My bad.
You're fine, boo. That's why he was like, well, the enthusiasm is the crowd. We saw more crowds and enthusiasm from Kamala, who ran an entire grassroots campaign, did not take corporate money, raised $1 billion, and still did not win. So that has no bearing here either.
In what, 130 days?
And not even 107.
I gotta drop, but Mia's links are in the bio, y'all. Send money. We're gonna have a drone building live on Saturday.
I'm
Thank
screaming.
you. Like, we get our own.
What from Trump's sons?
But this
Oh,
is, and it
What
goes
in
back to
the
the old adage. It goes back to the old adage of let's
oh,
fall in love.
Sokus.
That is not like, I think that is, what'd you say?
Baby, the MAGA bars are trying to rapture you. Go ahead.
No, I'm scared now.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I'm just saying it is not at this point. We all don't need to fall in love. It did it again, didn't it?
We don't all need to fall in love. We just need a date. We just need a date for the prom.
Because we
We
do.
don't need.
We
We
just
don't
need a
need to
date
get
to the
married.
shindig at this
Yes,
point.
we don't need to be married. We just need a date to the prom.
Oh, because
We need to show Sally Sue and Ashley that we the shit. Even if it's your fine ass cute gay best friend. We just need a fucking date for the prom. That's it. Okay?
Are you asking me to the prom?
What's up?
it might have been Deacon. You got you know, God bless you with 2 arms. You can handle 2 dates, nigga.
Like, I don't give a damn. I'm just saying, like, we don't have to fall in love. We don't have to promise 6 to 3 years that we ain't making. Okay? We just need to get through. We need to survive.
And a lot of y'all keep missing that. And it's really, we don't have that many more chances at this. We really don't. We got to get this shit right. Y'all out here are actively working against who, so we're saying we need this shit to stop because you don't want to keep doing the work. That is not how this works. There will always be work to be done. If we get to a place where there is no work left, then we might even need to reevaluate that because utopia shouldn't exist. Like, there is no such creature, no such animal, no such thing. There's a reason why they say that that is for when you leave this earth.
And just a reminder, May 1st. If you don't know what that means, look it up. So hey, y'all, kind of very disappointed because yesterday my numbers did better and today is a little bit more organized and I actually had things going. And I'm not seeing very much, engagement other than, is this guy serious? So I really, really like, we are going to have people that are either, and I'm saying we are because I'm going to keep doing this. If we are going to want a change, we need to open up the platform for those that aren't necessarily supporting the. Are you good now? Damn. So we need to continue working on this. Like I said, I'm not judging anybody else's platform. If y'all want to sit there and argue with people that can't see the wall in front of them, that is fine. Do your thing. I love the blood sport. However, that is what your platform is, and you have to set boundaries and all this stuff. I am said person for, like, if they want to have a friendly discourse as to like what we want to see. And the first thing I want to see is money out of politics. I'm kidding. Somebody out the White House and the rest of his cabinet. But when it comes to going forward, in order for us to be for the people and by the people, I want to see money out of politics. I want to know that a single mother somewhere can be able to still put food on her child's table or her children's table and be able to campaign as well without having to sacrifice her children or her employment. I want to know that that's going to be possible.
I'm sorry, I gotta address the men folk down. Hey, get it the fuck together. Y'all are in public. Don't make me have to address you from up here again, please. And you know who I'm talking to.
Don't mute Cook.
No, hold on, because I want my yes man. Thank you. Come on, where Cuck? Don't play with me.
Do I have to mod Cook?
Okay,
He's
where's my
safe in this
goddamn
space
belt?
right now. God damn it. All right, remember we're on the tubes.
Sunkiss, you stood me up on my birthday last night.
I apologize. I was asleep because I was a very tired Sunkiss.
I accept your apology. All right, bye.
Thank
I don't think you had a
I'm
choice,
so
but
sorry.
okay.
I am so sorry. I deeply apologize, really.
Okay. Yes, we saw the random caveman and whatever the fuck the bald guy was. So yes.
Now I'm gonna feel bad about that all day.
Do you know who that is? He's
Yeah.
not gonna remember in like 15 minutes.
Like I know, but I'm still gonna feel bad about that. Like that's not. I'm gonna actually feel bad about that. Fuck.
Okay, so what were they misbehaving within the chat?
They was down there talking about bleaching nethers and showing hole and shit, debauchery.
Remember, there's more than 3 holes.
I'm a Taurus. I remember if I fucked. Ooh. Yes, Kayla, please send me the cake. I would love to see it again. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. Truly.
That's a troll. Okay, so yes, please. If we want to see change, we actually have to push for change. Same thing I said yesterday. The messaging for the Democratic Party, because we are in a 2-party system. Not because I'm simping for the Democratic Party, but we are in a 2-party system. I'm gonna tell you right now, the other party fucking hates me. So.
But that man said, I want to start a revolution at 37. Bless your heart,
right now. When we switch over,
no, we gotta no, because we get. I guess we're getting. I guess they're giving us their piecemeal to us like we're in a Marvel movie and we haven't started a press junket yet. So we got to remember John Brown at the front of the civil rights movement that also only had one leader who was MLK because apparently nobody has any regard for Malcolm X on that side. On top of we got to start the revolution while not voting, while allowing us to continue to sit in what's happening until we all get raptured by motherfucking Big Diaper himself, apparently. And then the revolution will start. So we'll be the first bloodshed of it, but that will be the martyrs that motorize the mechanism of the What are we talking about?
I think
We're
you
talking
summed
about
it
money
up.
out of
Dumb
politics.
that sounds? See how fucking stupid that sounds when you say it aloud? What sense of relevancy does what I just said hold? And this is not Sunkiss trying to be funny. Let me, girl, I wanted to reach this fucking screen. Because it's psychological. Because it's
is here. You're not coming up.
And I'm going to play it up exactly right. What sense does that make? How is starting a business a revolution?
So, as y'all can see, we are in the sunken place.
Do a reach to the screen of me, you nasty. I will tear you up. Do not start with me.
He about to say please. But like, this is where we are.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on, because now you've crossed the line.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we are in the sunken place. And some people don't realize it. Some people do realize it, and they think that by getting out of the sunken place, we must set the sunken place on fire. However, we live here. So we got to climb out of said sunken place. We need to build a ladder with a human ladder. We need to figure it out. That's where we are. And I need people to understand that we need to lock in, because I have a feeling, unless you are 100% down bad, MAGA, you don't like where you are right now. So what do we do about that? I can guarantee that, or unless you are just like really, 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 really good at predicting shit, like apparently predicting Venezuela and Iran and all that stuff 10 years ago. Like, if you're really good at predicting shit, like, and you're great on the stock market, understood. But if you want change, you have to be the change you wish to see in the world.
I hear that. That's really lovely.
And
It
then you
really
also have
is.
to show the change you want to see in the world.
I just
And
want them to present a plan. Every time they talk about the great white hope, not saying that to be funny, who is this candidate? Because it damn sure ain't Cicada, bitch. It isn't. It isn't. Who is this
Oliver,
candidate? Who are these people?
it's
Blue.
not, or what is it?
Don't ask me.
No, I'm gonna
Dela
ask you because
Cruz.
you out here a little bit more in this apparatus than
I
than than
am.
I than I am. You talk to the people more than I do nowadays. Who is the hope? Who is this revolutionary they waiting on?
They
I
ain't
know it
told
ain't
me either.
Jesus.
They ain't told me either.
Baby, they had to tell you something. You real soft paladin and you
I
you
asked
draped
them
in the
the same
cloth.
question you be asking you asking right now. I asked them what's the plan. I asked them what is their solution, and they
Cause who
never have
is
an
it?
answer.
Are they late? What we need to put together a GoFundMe? Did they Cadillac break down? Who is it?
Oh, so
Are they coming in a Hyundai? Who is it? And then even if it's not a revolutionary, what's the plan? You all keep saying we need to burn it down. We need to burn it down. Okay, but what are we supposed to do while we're in it? They caught a flat. Eli, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
What is the plan? What is the plan?
So here's the thing. The other thing is, I have been listening to like real world leftists, and they honestly think the hardcore leftists here in the West are absolutely delusional, because that's not how that works. And because they are reading things they are reading things in the context of the time. For instance, Marx and stuff like that. They are reading it in the concept of the time, but not taking into the consideration the innovation and the times have changed since then, but also don't take into consideration that Marx was actually privileged and he wrote his book from a house.
It's really. I'm gonna go take a nap. Fuck this.
Love you, Sunkiss. Thank you for coming up.
I gotta sleep this irritation off.
Sleep off your disingenuous nature.
Please, no, please, like that. That genuinely triggers me. That isn't a joke. It. Oh.
It's almost
Oh.
like white rice.
Or John Brown. I ain't never gonna get over that. I'm sorry.
I still remember your crash out over damn fucking white rice. She's like, I'm just
What was my crash?
hungry.
What was my crash out
We were
over
talking
white
about
rice?
chili and white rice.
Oh my god! Because y'all were playing in my face. That's why. That's why I crashed out. Because my face was being played in on that day.
I'm not accepting anyone on the panel unless we're mutuals. You're more than welcome to give the number a call.
Can you like mute Cuck for 5 minutes as a punishment at this point? Because my face is being played in, and I just said I don't appreciate that. I don't know why y'all think that is a joke. That does not mean push harder on Sunkiss.
Well, Sunkiss, I love you. Don't forget John.
I love you too. Despicable.
All right. So, again, make sure you're remembering John Brown at all hours of the day. I love you. You're so just mwah. The fact that we live so close together and I've still yet to meet Sunkiss is wild. Any
That is
hoosers, I think I might restart on Techie Talk.
Okay.
Who lost a customer? Okay. I think I'm going to restart on TikTok. Actually, I've done this for what, an hour and a half? No, I think I'm just going to shut it down. Tell your homies about this. We'll be back tomorrow at 2.
I'll have more like data about money in politics and how the US is different from the rest of the world.
Ooh, you're doing homework.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you can take your gay best friend to the prom. All right. Bye, tubes. It was beautiful seeing you all. Now